Let's start with the latest twist. Stephanie Jenkins, TikTok mom of 5 and drama magnate, has now landed herself in even deeper trouble. After being cited for abandoning her cats, she decided to make things worse by giving a fake name on the official government document. That's right, the woman actually wrote Jenkins Stephanie, when her real legal name is Stephanie something. And here's the kicker. This isn't just about a name mix-up. Stephanie is not married to Drew Jenkins. She's still legally married to Jeremiah Sampson, who, by the way, is currently incarcerated. So that makes this not just a lie, but a legal offense, giving false information on government official documents. That's obstruction of justice. It's fraud. It's forgery. It's serious. And this isn't a one-off blunder. This is a pattern of deception, bad choices, and outright chaos. Which brings us to the bigger picture, because the Jenkins family drama is more than just messy. It's a full-blown train wreck. 1 minute, they're hopping from one motel to another with 5 kids in tow, constantly packing and repacking their lives into plastic bags and duffel sacks. The next, Stephanie is being caught on video with what appears to be a glass substance pipe peeking out of her hoodie pocket. Yet another red flag in a long list of questionable decisions. Then suddenly, Drew starts claiming he's suffering from seizures, which mysteriously seem to align with moments when he's being asked to take on adult responsibility. But just when you think things can't get any more dysfunctional, they somehow manage to sink even lower. Enter the cat abandonment saga. Stephanie was officially served by Multnomah County Animal Service for leaving behind her cats, helpless and without care. And instead of taking ownership, she spun an eyebrow-raising tale about how an animal control officer supposedly told her it was okay, that they were stray and didn't need her. This wasn't just denial, it was deflection, with a twist of fiction, and it didn't end there. Because when she filled out the official citation paperwork, she gave a false name, Jenkins Stephanie. Not only is this inaccurate, but it's also illegal. Her real name is Stephanie something. She's not married to Drew Jenkins. In fact, she's still legally married to Jeremiah Thompson, who is currently incarcerated.
Haha, Stephanie Jenkins. You see that up at the top, Jenkins? That's not your fucking name. You just lied to a government agency. Not a good look, girl. Not a good look. They're gonna come for you.
So not only did she lie on the government document, she impersonated someone she illegally is not. That's not just technicality, it's a crime. And a serious one. Government forms are not the place for make-believe. They are real legal documents. Tampering with your identity, especially to avoid consequences or confuse accountability, opens up a Pandora box of legal issues, obstruction of justice, identity fraud, potential forgery. So why take such a risk? Why double down on dishonesty when the truth is already biting hard? Well, the answer lies somewhere in Stephanie's fixation on being part of the Jenkins name. It's as if she believes that adopting Drew's surname on paper, in public, and on social media will somehow validate their chaotic life together. But the reality is, Drew hasn't made any legal moves to welcome her into the family. No engagement, no marriage, no sign that he even wants to. He let her move in, yes, but that's where it ends. No vows, no paperwork, nothing official, and yet Stephanie clings to that last name like it's her only form of identity. A title she's adopted without permission and worse, without legal standing. Which begs the question, why is she so determined to align herself with a man who can't even keep his kids off motel beds or his controller out of his hands long enough to be a present father? What exactly does the name Jenkins symbolize for her? A fresh start, a fantasy, or just a desperate escape from her own crumbling reality? While Stephanie is out here dancing with legal consequences, Drew is deeply immersed in fantasy land. Not the fantasy of fixing their life, not the fantasy of providing for their kids, but the literal fantasy of what PlayStation game he should dive into next. Yes, that's what Drew chose to focus on, while his entire real life is scrambling around him like a poorly built house in a storm. And no, this isn't satire. It's not parody. This is the real Drew Jenkins. Homeless, unemployed, father of 5, boyfriend to a woman potentially facing fraud charges, asking strangers online for advice on what game to play. His top pick, Civilization 7.
To his TikTok and he says, "What should I play today?" Talking about games. And I'm gonna help him out a little bit, okay? So first there's this game, I forgot what it's called, but it's where you apply to jobs every day until you get a job to support your family. Oh, and then there's that one game where you get off the PS5 and you actually do something to support your family. What else? Oh, there's It's the game where you get your family out of that motel. Oh, and then there's that other good game. I think it's where you pay child support, that way you don't end up in jail. Oh, there's another good game. It's kind of out of your likings, but it's where you don't throw cats out a door. You don't abandon cats. And then, what's the other one? Oh, you don't abuse and neglect your kids.
Let's unpack that for a second. Civilization 7 is a top-tier game. Just launched, hot off the digital shelf, a smooth $70. And Drew somehow got his hands on it in the middle of being evicted, in the middle of feeding 5 kids on what seems to be zero income, in the middle of literal survival mode. He invested in entertainment, not in diapers, not in food, not even in a bed frame, a game, a digital empire building stimulator. While his real world empire is a pile of motel keycards and unpaid bills. It's a masterclass in misplaced priority. It's giving emotional detachment. It's giving full throttle denial. The internet wasn't quiet. In fact, it came for him with full clarity. The comment section looked like a group therapy intervention run by unemployed social workers and fed up moms. Play the game of employment. Drew, try living up your income. Boss battle idea, rent.
Your family's homeless and you want to know what kind of video game you should play today. Sir, you have 5 kids and you are homeless with your wife. And you want to know what kind of video game you should play. Doesn't that sound crazy to y'all? Because that sounds crazy coming out of my mouth. Aren't you literally on the run from the police right now? Let's play get a job. Let's play pay child support. Let's play be a real man for your family. The fact that Stephanie could literally call her mom at any point in time and be like, hey, I need your help, and her mom would literally help her. But she chooses to stay with a man that would rather sit and play video games in a motel room while they are homeless. But the video game, sell the video game. And you can just tell that those kids are tired. Y'all go from motel room to motel room. They're cooking on the floor and on bathroom sinks. This is not a life that children should be living.
Every comment was sharper than the last, and still it bounced right off him. He wasn't just dropping the ball, he was lighting the ball on fire and kicking it into traffic. Because this isn't about laziness, it's about avoidance. A complete lack of interest in doing the bare minimum as a father. What stings the most is that Drew doesn't even look ashamed. There's no panic behind his eyes, no urgency. Just a man fully disconnected from the gravity of his situation, scrolling through game reviews while his kids sleep 2 feet away on thin motel mattress.
Of seeing people come on this app and exploiting their children for some views and for some money. Stephanie Jenkins, Drew Jenkins, Amanda MCG, Matt Stan with Meg, Alexis Subble. Oh my God, there's so many of them. Okay? You guys are aware that at some point in time, your kids are going to grow up and see this. That is not the purpose of this app, okay? It is not for us to see your messy houses. It is not for us to see you neglecting your children. If I see that, I'm going to call CPS on you. I am going to report you. I'm sorry, I'll never feel sorry about that. So if you are somebody that is on here watching this content because you think it is funny, you are disgusting. And if you subscribe to these people, if you give these people money to exploit their children, you are part of the problem. Stop abusing and neglecting your kids and putting it on TikTok. Stop.
And the only high score he's chasing, still just pixels on a screen, while his real-life responsibilities are flashing game over in bold red letters. Let's talk about the May court case, because this one's not a rumor or online drama. It's real, it's official, and it's already on the calendar. Drew owes back child support for one of his older kids, and not just a little. This has been an ongoing issue, one that followed him into his current mess. The deadline to pay is looming, and if he doesn't come up with the money, he's facing real jail time, not community service, not a warning. We are talking actual time behind bars. And what's Drew doing to handle that? Is he out pounding the pavement, picking up odd jobs, calling in favors, doing anything to keep himself out of jail and provide for his family? Nope. He's on his PlayStation, completely unbothered, still posting about games, still acting like he has all the time in the world. This isn't just poor judgment, it's willful neglect. It's choosing escapism over action while legal consequences sit on his doorstep. And when May comes, and it's coming fast, Stephanie might be left on her own again, dealing with 5 kids, legal chaos, and now possibly a man in jail. This is real life. Drew, not a game. No reset button, no second life, just consequences that he'd had if he doesn't snap out of it. Now, here's where it gets murky, and honestly, a little chilling. Some people believe this isn't just carelessness or incompetence. They believe it's calculated. They think Stephanie and Drew are deliberately manufacturing chaos. They are just posting inflammatory, ridiculous content on purpose to trigger outrage and harvest. This isn't just clout chasing. It is what many are calling full-blown range. Think about it. Stephanie knowingly gave a fake name to a legal citation Drew in the middle of a homeless crisis, proudly flaunting his brand new $70 PS5 game while asking the public for gaming advice. The absurdity isn't just accidental. It feels too precise, too on the nose, like they have figured out the exact algorithm to get people mad and talking. And some speculate Stephanie is the mastermind behind it, pulling the strings and coaching Drew on how to post for maximum engagement. And honestly, it's not hard to believe, because the timing, impeccable. The tone, almost smart. These aren't people who look shocked by their own dysfunction. They look like they're filming it for content. But here's the dark side of that strategy. Even if it is all for show, the damage is very, very real. The kids are still sleeping in motels, watching their parents become internet punchlines. Stephanie still submitted falsified documents, a legal offense. Drew still has court next month, and if he doesn't pay what he owes, jail time is waiting. So whether this is calculated content strategy or a genuine spiral caught on camera, either way, the game they are playing is reckless. And the people paying the biggest price aren't the ones behind the camera. They are the ones watching, silent in the background. The 5 little lives stuck in this circus with no script, no edit button, and no way to opt out.
Can we stop supporting this terrible, terrible mom? Those poor kids.
Is this all an attention-seeking act, a ploy for views and sympathy? Or is this just who the Jenkins are, really? Messy, reckless, and unbothered. Will Stephanie get in legal trouble for using a fake name? Will Joe finally take responsibility before he ends up in jail? Or are we watching a family completely unravel in real time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you think Joe needs to log out and step up. Subscribe for more updates on this ongoing disaster, because trust me, this story, it's not slowing down anytime soon.